All right, we're back on the Young Turks with the latest and greatest on Edward Snowden. Of course, we have our power panel here. Anna Kasparian of The Point and the Young Turks. Kara Santamaria, also contributor to theyoungturks.com. J.R. Jackson, youtube.com/TYT. All the different ways that you could watch us. Kara, go.
So it's now been about 24 days since we first heard the name Edward Snowden. And even before that name fell on our ears by a Guardian article by Glenn Greenwald, he was already on the run. Edward Snowden was seeking refuge in Hong Kong. And then we found out just recently that he's been living in a Moscow airport for about the last week. But the AP has just reported, and this is not yet confirmed, that he may be on President Evo Morales' plane. That's the Bolivian president, but it was rerouted because neither France nor Portugal wanted that plane to fly through their airspace. So it's now been rerouted to Austria on suspicion that he's on the plane, and we will see what happens with that. Now, Bolivia...
Viva Bolivia!
Bolivia may have been Snowden's kind of last hope. You know, let's look at the laundry list of countries that has already said that they are not going to give him asylum. We've got Austria, Brazil, Ecuador, Finland, let's not forget India, Ireland, and Norway, and also Poland, Spain, and Switzerland. And that doesn't include the countries that he has actually applied for who just haven't responded yet.
Yeah, what's incredible about Snowden is Russia was going to give him asylum, but he didn't agree to the terms because Putin said you are no longer allowed to leak anything else about the U.S. government. He's like, yeah, I'm not going to take it, which is so ballsy. I mean, I'd be like, okay, I'll take it.
But at the same time, what is the point of doing what he did if he's not willing to stand that ground?
Yeah, absolutely. Now, look, there's the media here says two different things. They say, first of all, oh, he's a coward. He ran away. Martin Luther King didn't run away to China. Okay, I know, but they didn't say that he
wasn't going to be tortured like Bradley Manning's been tortured.
Right, and he wasn't facing a life sentence. This guy's facing a life sentence.
He's facing the death penalty.
Yeah,
I mean, he could be charged with, or he could be, if found guilty, facing the death penalty.
Okay, bringing up the Martin Luther Kings and Rosa Parks, I don't know if people who are defending Snowden are doing that. I think maybe the only way that could be a straw man is that the people who are going after Snowden are evoking Martin Luther Kings and Rosa Parks. If people are, I could agree with you to say no, he's not. But don't bring him up if people defending Snowden aren't bringing up those figures. You know, that's the only way that I see that point.
No, but you know they are. But you put together the compilation yesterday. Bob Schieffer and Melissa Harris Perry. Oh, well, you know, he's not Gandhi. Right. Okay, yeah, you're right. He's not Mandela. He's not Martin Luther King. And he would like to not spend the rest of his life in jail or be executed. On the other hand, he has his principles, and he's not willing to compromise the principles, so he's trying to walk a line. It's a really, really hard line. But what would you do? Would you just say, all right, here, I give myself into Obama, and I'm going to get the Bradley Manning treatment?
I'm sorry.
No,
this is why I admire Snowden, because what he did was important. And, I mean, he gave up a very, very cushy lifestyle in Hawaii with a beautiful girlfriend to do what he has done. It takes a tremendous amount of courage, and that courage continues when he decides, you know what, I'm not going to take asylum from Russia because it goes against my principles. That's a very principled person.
And Glenn Greenwald says that there's even more information, shocking information even to come. Let's take a look.
What's the end game here for Ed Snowden?
Well, from the very first time that I spoke with him, he said that he completely understood that once he came forward against the U.S. government and the Obama administration, that he would become the most wanted man on earth and would be hunted down by the world's most powerful state, and that he felt it was worthwhile to do that because he could not in good conscience allow this massive spying program aimed at the American people to be constructed in the dark.
You know, before we go anywhere else, Jan, I know you're starting to have concerns about Glenn Greenwald and Snowden. Keep it real. Go ahead.
I had the concern about Snowden before, and now they're starting to rise about Greenwald, in my own mind. The story's changing for me. I mean, the rest of that interview, he's talking about how, well, I'm doing this, and then the rest of me is doing that. And it's true. Bring that up when the topic arises. But instead, it's not, it's coming to, I've got something else coming up. You just wait. Wait 24 more hours, or wait till next week. If you're gonna, if the real principle of the situation is to report what's being done to us and how we need to be more aware of our government, report that. Let's stop changing it to who it's about. Now, if people are attacking you, you defend yourself. But let's not bring up, now I'm going to go to people who, I'm sorry, Fox News and Fox and Friends, and say, I have something else. You just wait.
But don't you think that's what Greenwald is doing? He's saying there's more information. We should be refocusing on the information that Snowden is actively trying to leak. I'm going to do that in a manner that is safe for my source, whom I'm trying to protect, and I want the people to hear what it is he thinks we need to hear.
I'm listening. I'm ready to hear it. I'm not listening for, give me a teaser. They're sitting in the primetime television show and you're teasing the next show. Tell me the information. When you come with fluff, I start to wonder, okay, where's the information? Stop. If you're writing it, if you're still putting it together,
I understand
cool.
what you're saying, JR. And, you're worried that it's going to be self-aggrandizement. He's getting on TV to be on TV. But then the flip side to that is nobody else is presenting their point of view, right? Mm-hmm. There's us, right? Mm-hmm. And then there's Julian Assange and there's Glenn Greenwald. And everybody else on television seems to be against Snowden.
And Greenwald
so
has
somebody's got to
speak
stand
for
up.
Snowden, because Snowden doesn't have a voice right now. Snowden is trying to protect his ass so that he can continue to do what he knows is the right thing to do, which is keep these lines open and continue with these leaks.
And maybe I'm remembering it wrong. I don't remember Julian Assange continuing to give us teases. He gave us information, and then they went after him, and he was principled with saying what he did and why he did it.
But did he feel like Manning was safe at that point in time? I wonder if that really factors into this question. We still don't even know Snowden's whereabouts. We don't know if he's safe. We don't know if he's being extradited back to America as we speak. And that's a dangerous place for Greenwald to be sitting in. And his probably primary objective right now is to protect his source.
A tiny point before we go to the rest of the media, which is the Washington Post, is Switzerland. They're very neutral. They're neutral to your money. They'll take it, right? No matter where it comes from, they don't give a damn. You could be a drug dealer, you could be a murderer, you could be a terrorist. They'll take your money. But Snowden, he's too dangerous. They can't be neutral to that. They got to bow their head to the Americans.
It's not Snowden. It's America.
I know.
It's America. It's the power that they have that's too dangerous. That's why we're seeing all of these different countries kowtowing, because we're flexing our muscles with them.
And we just need to be ready. If he ends up coming back, people in America need to be ready to defend the guy who's giving us the information. Don't just relinquish on him. Because it sounds like they're going to get him.
I have no trust in the American people
look at this
defending
Washington
him.
Post editorial. Look at the editorial that was put out by the editorial staff at the Washington Post. They said, quote, the first U.S. priority should be to prevent Mr. Snowden from leaking information that harms efforts to fight terrorism and conduct legitimate intelligence operations. The best solution for both Mr. Snowden and the Obama administration would be his surrender to U.S. authorities, followed by a plea negotiation. This is the same news organization that published his leaks.
Yeah, so are they also looking for Bart Gellman, who was on their staff and published this stuff? Should he also be arrested? Think about it. It's ridiculous. All right, we got to go. We'll be right back with one final point.